Welcome back to the Doug Karns program here on All Noise Radio. Doug Karns program at gmail.com is my email, and you can leave me a voicemail anytime at 267-495-4866. All right, so we were talking about the Wall Street protesters. Let me just clarify something. I totally agree with getting a great education. I want my future kids to have a opportunity to go to college. But the system we have set up right now is completely ridiculous. Because college expenses, the college tuition has gone up 500% in the last 20 years. 500%. That's without inflation, because we haven't really suffered much inflation until the last couple of years. Their prices are outrageous. You get these huge loans that you have to pay off for years and years and years. And some of the degrees that you're getting don't even provide jobs. And with the job market that we have today, it's setting up for suicide, for financial suicide. And, I mean, back in the 1800s and 1700s, college was just basically for lawyers, for doctors, and anyone who wanted to expand their knowledge. That's about it. The way you got your job was you got an apprenticeship. You know, like you studied under somebody that was good at their business, and you learn what they do, and then you take that and start your own business, or take it for somebody, or take that what you learned and go to somebody else's business to help them grow. That, I mean, you don't need to go to school, you know, to be a businessman. You really don't. It really does take common sense. But I'm fine with you getting an education, but you have to know that if you're going to be signing up for, you know, these huge ass loans, you're going to have to pay for them one day. And it's not the bank's fault. It's not Wall Street's fault. It's your fault for signing the loans. And, you know, it's becoming a little ridiculous. And it's all because the Department of Education, they've forced this on us in the last 100 years that you pretty much need a college degree to do anything in this world. It never used to be that way. A college degree, all that did was give you better knowledge for the particular trade that you're going into. Universities were there to expand your knowledge, and that's about it. But now we have this forced upon system that you have to go through college to get a job. And most of the time, I mean, even doctors take forever to pay off their student loans with their high salaries. You know, they're the ones that need to go to medical school. I mean, they have to go to become a doctor. But like I said, there's other trades. Like me for radio, I don't need to go to a 4-year university to know how to do radio. It's all about experience. I get better as time goes on. I don't get better because I have a 4-year degree or a 6-year degree in radio and communications. I'm a smart guy. I can figure things out on my own. I just need the experience. That's all. And there's a lot of trades like that. But, you know, to have this notion that you have to go to college as soon as high school is absolutely ridiculous. Especially, now if it was cheap, it wouldn't be a problem. But these colleges hold on to billions and billions of dollars a year, like Columbia University, and they just sit on that cash for their board of directors. I mean, it's ridiculous. And if you want to be mad at somebody, don't be mad at Wall Street. Be mad at your universities that are charging you these rates, that you have to take out these huge loans. The banks are just there to give you the money. They're the least culprit in this whole situation. It's between you and the school that you need to figure this out. So, all right, let's get back to this Al Sharpton MSNBC clip with this organizer of the Occupy Wall Street.
Joining me now from Lower Manhattan near Wall Street is Harrison Schultz, one of the organizers of the Occupy Wall Street. Harrison, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, Reverend. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Tell us a little about the movement that's going on in Wall Street.
The movement down here is incredibly exciting. It's incredibly exhilarating. And honestly, my opinion as a professional sociologist, I think that this is the beginning of a revolution in this country.
A revolution going toward what? What are the goals? I see an excitement. I really love the way that there's been discipline and nonviolence, except on the other side. But what are the goals?
So he takes a shot at the Tea Party and about how he doesn't like the violence on the other side. When have you ever seen violence from the Tea Party? From the little white-haired old ladies sitting in their lawn chairs, when have you ever seen violence? Send me something. Email me, DougCarnsProgram@gmail.com. Show me the evidence, because there's not one Tea Partier that has shown violence. And I guarantee you, if there is one, he's either an infiltrator, because that's what the left's trying to do, is infiltrate the Tea Party and make them look crazy, or it's just a guy that will disavow because we don't want him in the Tea Party. But I guarantee you won't find anything, because I've not seen... For all the days I spend in the news and on the internet, I have not found one clip of a Tea Party year being violent.
When you say a revolution, where are you taking this?
The fact that we don't have a coherent set of goals is what the media has been blasting us the most for. But the fact of the matter is that the problems in this country, that this country is going through, are very complicated. And so the discussion that we're having isn't simple. It's a very complicated discussion as well. Democracy takes time, and the conversations that we're having are the conversations that leaders in politics and economics and in the media should be having, but really aren't. So we have to do it ourselves.
So really you're showing the discontent and trying to force the conversation to have a realistic dialogue about what ought to be the real priorities and the real solutions in this country.
Yes, the best way to look at Occupy Wall Street, in my opinion, is to think of it as a conversation, a big conversation that needs to be had, that the media and that our leaders just aren't having. Now, and we're getting into trouble for having these conversations with the NYPD.
Now, I notice
you're not getting in trouble because you're having conversations. You're getting in trouble because you're being disruptive. You know, it's one thing to have free speech, but once you become disruptive, you're going to get arrested. Just like 700 of you guys did over the weekend on the Brooklyn Bridge. So, you know, it's not because you're having a conversation. See, that this is what they're going to try to do. They're going to start making the police and anybody who's against them become the enemy. They're going to make them become the enemy. And you'll see. You'll see. Because, like I said, this is going to start grabbing its own life here and becoming a civil unrest in the streets of New York. Bloomberg said it a couple weeks ago. He said civil unrest is coming unless Washington does something. Now, the thing Washington needs to do is, you know, cut spending and taxes to create more jobs. And I guarantee you all these occupiers will be occupying jobs in, you know, a year or so. But, you know, civil unrest is coming. And the police, you know, pray for the police because they are going to have to deal with this in the next couple months. They really are. And let's hope nobody gets hurt over it.
People from all walks of life, all racial backgrounds, but do all of the elements there that are involved from different parts of society, do they all want the same thing? Do they want different things? It's about having a conversation so everyone can discuss what it is they want?
The thing that we all want, the thing that we all agree on, in my opinion, and I can only speak from my perspective,
I understand,
is that we're all here for change. We all want something different. We all want something better. As far as the specifics, as far as how we go about doing that, we don't know yet. Part of the problem, I think, part of the issue is that a lot of the people that are here are in fact anarchists, are in fact revolutionaries, and putting a revolution,
So this guy is admitting right here that they are revolutionists and are anarchists in this crowd. Now, is this the movement that you want to support? If you have no idea what these people... I mean, they're teaming up. Socialists, communists, revolutionaries, and anarchists are teaming up to take down the government. That's the same thing that they keep accusing the Tea Party for doing. Is we're trying to take down the government. We're not trying to take down the government. We just want to lessen government. We want the same constitutional government that our founders put in 200-something years ago to stay there. We just want less of it right now. But these people actually want to destroy it and take it down and put a new system in. That's a scary thought. And now that this is lasting for 20 days now, and it keeps growing, and celebrities like Susan Sarandon has been down there, and Roseanne Barr, and the media keeps giving these guys attention, it's going to keep growing. And like I said, there's now protests going on in Chicago, and soon to be Boston, soon to be Philly, soon to be LA. It's spreading. And we got to nip this in the bud before it grows too big. So, I mean, this guy is blatantly saying that they are revolutionaries and they're anarchists. Now, if you know anything about anarchy, they don't want any government whatsoever, which is very different from a revolutionary who wants communism. But they're working together to take down the government, and then they'll figure out what to do at the end. They'll probably fight about it. But is this the minority that you want to, which compare in the media, it seems like the majority nowadays. The media just plays up to this every single day and praises these guys, like Lawrence O'Donnell on MSNBC, which I'll play a clip from him in a little bit with Van Jones. But this is not the America that we want. I promise you that. You do not want this government to fall, and these guys do. And these college kids are useful idiots. They're just being told, want to hear a useful idiot? Hear this chant with Frances Fox Piven, who's we'll touch on too in a little bit. She wants to collapse the government. She came out with a plan years ago in the 60s to how to collapse the United States government. Now listen to these useful idiots with Frances Fox Piven.
Mic check, is that right? Mic check. Mic check. You know, I'm glad to be here. I am so glad that you are here.
But I'm so glad that you are here.
You are amazing.
You are amazing.
A lot of you are young.
A lot of you are young.
You have energy.
You have energy.
Imagination.
Imagination.
Guts.
Guts.
You could start a movement.
You could start a movement.
In the United States.
In the United States.
Maybe across the globe.
Maybe across the globe.
And you know, you have come to the right place.
And you know you've come to the right place.
To kick off that movement.
To kick off that movement.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Wall Street is the center.
Wall Street is the center.
Of the neoliberal cancer.
Of the neoliberal cancer.
And if you listen to that, she doesn't say neocon, neoconservative. She says neoliberal. See, they're going to start pushing everybody into this lump sum, saying they're all the problem. And it's starting with this movement right here. I mean, if you know anything about Cloward and Piven and their plan to collapse the government, we'll touch about on this in the next break. But this is one scary grandmother. All right? And how chilling is that with these people repeating everything she says? I mean, it reminds you with the Yes We Can with Obama and the Hitler chants in the 1930s and 40s. Like, that is spooky. I mean, would you, ask yourself, would you be there chanting along with somebody? Like, whether you agree with them or not, would you sit there and chant with them? I wouldn't. I mean, you seem like a mindless zombie at that point. So, we're up against a break, but in our final segment, I got to reveal to you the Cloward and Piven plan that came out in the 60s. So, we'll touch on that right after this.